Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we've got big updates on Manchester United, including confirmed squad changes for their match against Tottenham, a bombshell €150 million transfer bid, and key injury crisis news. Plus, Ruben Amorim's worrying words about his future. Stay tuned. Manchester United confirmed squad members versus Tottenham as club forced to change travel plans. Manchester United are having to travel to London by coach for their Premier League fixture against Tottenham after their train was cancelled on Saturday afternoon. A signal failure on the West Coast main line saw the cancellations of a number of services on Saturday afternoon, and United will instead have to make a 4-hour journey by road. United players had parked up at Manchester Airport in anticipation of arriving home by air after Sunday's game, but the club have had to hastily arrange an alternative mode of transport. The club's superior coaches are already in London to ferry the squad to and from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow, so United had to board an inferior coach on Saturday. United had contingencies in place amid the unreliable rail services between Manchester and London Euston. United had to return from their last London game at Fulham 3 weeks ago by coach after their flight on Sunday evening was cancelled. Strikers Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee have travelled after head coach Ruben Amorim suggested Academy Centre forward Chido Obi could be promoted to the matchday squad. An injury crisis is mounting at United, with Ahmad, Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte and Toby Collier all reputedly out of the Tottenham match. Collier is unwell. A second coach left from Carrington that is understood to have ferried academy players who have been added to the matchday squad. Amorim revealed United had doubts over 3 unnamed players who were injured or unwell. Was a good week until 2 days ago, Amorim said on Friday. We had some problems also, so we don't have players back. Maybe we have 1 or 2 issues, but we are waiting. We have 1 player also who is sick, so we will see the team at the weekend. But was good to work with the team, to feel the players and to try to improve our performance. I don't want to say names which could be promoted from the academy, because we have to be careful with that. They are working with us. We had some problems this week. We called some young players to be in our training, so we will have the data and evaluation, and he, Obi, is one of them. Confirmed United squad members: Dalot, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Lindelof, Heaven, Fernandes, Casemiro, Garnacho, Zirkzee, Højlund. Ruben Amorim makes worrying Man United sack admission and reveals his biggest weakness. Ruben Amorim says he is more worried about losing games than ultimately being sacked by Manchester United. The United boss is under pressure after 7 defeats in 13 Premier League games have left his struggling side down in 13th place in the table. But Amorim, who takes his side to fellow strugglers Tottenham on Sunday, said losing games is more of an issue for him than the prospect of losing his job. The 40-year-old Portuguese coach has refused to compromise on his system and approach, despite it not yielding results and leaving him at risk of getting the boot. I accept that, said Amorim. It's a choice you make when you're a coach, but I truly believe in the way I do things. I know at this kind of club, with this kind of pressure, you're always at risk. I'm aware of that, but it's not my biggest concern. Losing games is the hardest part of my job, not being sacked. I just want to win games. Asked if sticking to his principles in the face of poor results can be a weakness rather than a strength, Amorim acknowledged as much and said, "Yes, it can be. I think it can be a weakness in that moment, but then, if you believe in one thing or another, then you have to stick with that. I feel we focus a lot on the system, but the way we want to play this system is completely different than we're doing at the moment. But we're trying to improve, so, to be direct with your question, yes, sometimes it's a strength and sometimes it's a weakness. I think everybody knows that. You have one idea. We will try to adapt the way we play within the same system, and then you can play in different styles. If you change the profile of 2 players, you change the way the team plays, so for me that's more important than the system where you start with the players. The first thing is I just want to win the games. Believe it or not, that is my only focus." Amorim has come in for criticism for constantly changing his personnel and not sticking with one consistent lineup to give the players time to find consistency of performance. The United boss played new signing, £29.2 million left wing-back Patrick Dorgu on the right in the last gasp 2-1 FA Cup win over Leicester, but said there was a method in his apparent madness. Dorgu was doing that in Lecce, and sometimes having a left foot on the right is important, said Amorim. Especially when teams mark us one-on-one or are man-marking. I have the experience of playing that way against a 4-3-3 or a 5-4-1, and I know what kind of characteristics I need for it. But we also need time to work on everything. If I have an idea and if the connection is not yet there, I have to find that connection. So I'm trying everything to win the games, and that's why at times I'm changing so many things. I just want to win games. With several first-team players missing through injury and illness. Man United transfer bombshell. €150 million bid, put on the table that will break Pep's heart. Manchester United have made a €150 million bid for a player they believe can revolutionize their squad, according to a report from Spain. With the Old Trafford side in drastic need of offensive strengthening, Ruben Amorim's side are ready to make a club record offer to sign Atletico Madrid forward Julian Alvarez, according to a report from Fishages. Alvarez only moved to Atleti in the summer from Manchester City for €75 million in a deal that Pep Guardiola must regret, given the struggles of his side this term. The Argentine has thrived in La Liga, with 17 goals for the season already having been given the regular first-team football that he was craving. But now United want to take the 25-year-old star back to Manchester, where he would become the centerpiece of their attack, according to the Spanish reports. Alvarez's deal seems impossible after Amorim admission. While there is little doubt that a player of Alvarez's quality would strengthen Man United, the rumors of such a signing look out of context in the current situation at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim went on the record on Friday to explain the club's difficult situation and that sales are likely to be made before signings completed in the summer. It is simple. To do something, we need to sell players, he told the media frankly on Friday. To this end, United making a €150 million bid for anyone, shattering their transfer record in the process, seems impossible. For them to even begin to think about such a deal, several key players will have to be moved on first. Instead, they will have to look at players who offer better value for money. There is no doubt that Man United will be seeking to strengthen their attack, but a move for Alvarez at the price quoted is one that is fanciful. Manchester United star has perfect opportunity to turn around sad situation amid injury crisis. Ruben Amorim will have some difficulties finding a solution to his latest Manchester United problem. With the club currently with a serious injury crisis, Manchester United appointed Ruben Amorim as head coach in November last year, and he has since faced many problems trying to change things at Old Trafford. The Reds have been in mixed form and things have gone from bad to worse after it was confirmed that Ahmad has suffered a serious ankle injury. Ahmad has been one of Amorim's best players and reports suggest the Ivorian could be out of action for the rest of the season. Alongside that, Kobbie Mainoo, Toby Collier and Manuel Ugarte have all suffered injury setbacks as well. Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton, Altay Bayender and Mason Mount are also unavailable. With a clash against Tottenham Hotspur coming up, Amorim will need to think about how to solve the new issues in his squad. Ruben Amorim will have some difficulties finding a solution to his latest Manchester United problem. With the club currently with a serious injury crisis, Manchester United appointed Ruben Amorim as head coach in November last year, and he has since faced many problems trying to change things at Old Trafford. The Reds have been in mixed form and things have gone from bad to worse after it was confirmed that Ahmad has suffered a serious ankle injury. Ahmad has been one of Amorim's best players and reports suggest the Ivorian could be out of action for the rest of the season. Alongside that, Kobbie Mainoo, Toby Collier and Manuel Ugarte have all suffered injury setbacks as well. Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton, Altay Bayender and Mason Mount are also unavailable. With a clash against Tottenham Hotspur coming up, Amorim will need to think about how to solve the new issues in his squad. Pundit discusses Eriksen's sad situation at United. One player who has received a small amount of game time under Amorim is Danish midfielder Christian Eriksen. Eriksen has started 5 games since Amorim took charge despite finding some solid form in the back end of Erik ten Hag's tenure. The 33-year-old being a squad player at Old Trafford is something that saddens former Danish footballer Thomas Gravesen. For me, it is a very sad situation, because Eriksen is one of our biggest stars and has been in the history of the national team, Gravesen told Extra Bladet. If he is going to end his career with the impression we are forming of him now, when he is not playing football and not a part of this wonderful game, then I will be sad. Eriksen has perfect opportunity amid injury crisis. Ruben Amorim will have some difficulties finding a solution to his latest Manchester United problem. With the club currently with a serious injury crisis, Manchester United appointed Ruben Amorim as head coach in November last year, and he has since faced many problems trying to change things.